Hello there. I'm Dr. Mike Cosgrave. I'm Program Coordinator for the Masters in Digital Cultures here in the Department of Digital Humanities in University College Cork. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the program. There is a lot of information on the official university's websites, the list of requirements, the list of entry requirements, the list of modules, that sort of thing, and you can and should certainly read that. But more what I wanted to talk about here was our background in terms of where we came from, what we do, how we approach our work, which is very much interdisciplinary. It transcends disciplinary boundaries, and it also crosses the boundary between technology and the humanities. So we have people coming to us who either are just out of a humanities degree and want to become more technologically literate and capable, or people who are farther on in life who want a bit of a technology retrofit. And sometimes we get people coming from the technology side who want to learn a little bit about ethics and communities of practice and how the humanities and humanities reasoning and research engages with complex and ambiguous topics. We've been doing this in UCC for quite a while. We've been teaching undergraduate seminars in the use of digital tools since the 1990s. We've been teaching people how to create digital scholarly editions of text, going through the process of taking printed texts and imaging them and doing character recognition and correcting the errors in that, and then marking up the text to standardize things like personal and place names. We've worked with things like the 1901 Census of Population, which of course is now entirely online, but back then it wasn't. And digitizing parts of that allowed us to train students how to look at data like that and how to clean and standardize it and how to analyze it at several different levels. If you've got a large quantity of it together, you could obviously look at a very quantitative analysis and look at the numbers and the trends across a broad range of the data. But you could also zoom in on smaller subsets and individual records and look at the stories that emerged from those. So we have a track record in exploring how to use digital tools to capture data, to make sense of it, to clean it, and to turn it into stories that help to explain what's going on to people. Over time, the range of tools that we've got to allow us to do that have improved considerably. The web has become more sophisticated. It's now quite practical and part of what we do for everyone to build their own web presence. The range of different tools for building communities of practice and interacting with people and identifying scholarly communities and weaving them together and collaborating, collaborative writing, collaborative online presentations. All of these things have evolved, and we've worked to keep pace with them and build them into our assessments in an exploratory way. So apart from exploring that relationship between technology and the humanities, between technology, which has a tendency to simplify and put everything in little boxes, and real world questions that are complex and ambiguous and that change and are perhaps a little chaotic over time. We're also interested in exploring the relationship of people to technology. The fact that you can now be online 24/7 doesn't necessarily mean that you should be. The interaction between face-to-face communities and online communities, and how do we bring into our online communities of knowledge the things which make face-to-face communities work, the interactions and so on. So all of these are questions that we explore in a playful sort of way. We have an exploratory attitude towards technology. We bring people in who come from a variety of different technology backgrounds and who do not necessarily always have a great deal of technological sophistication, but we encourage people to try. And as is always the case with technology, things will go wrong. So we embrace that and encourage people to develop a learning practice which allows them to learn from the things that have not worked out. And as people say, fail better the next time. So there's room for that in our pedagogy and in our work, and we build a community that's supportive and tolerant of that. The challenges obviously have changed as time has gone on, and it would be remiss not to mention the situation that we find ourselves in currently, where in the last couple of weeks of the past term, all of the universities in the world and many of the traditional workplaces suddenly found ourselves thrust into a situation where we had to work online all the time. And for us, this was not a problem. We've been teaching flipped and online and blended in various different modes for over a decade now, in terms of some of our courses being fully online. But it does highlight the need, the acceleration of the trend, which was already there, that society needed people who could effectively integrate technology with real life. And suddenly that need has become more important. And one of the things that we set out to do is to try and turn out people with the sort of soft skills which will enable them going forward to provide leadership at whatever level they're comfortable with in a society where we need people who can use technology effectively to keep us together when we are apart. So I hope you will be encouraged to come together with us in our online Masters in Digital Cultures here in University College Cork next year. As I mentioned, there's quite a lot of information in the official pages, but it doesn't maybe capture the essence of some of the other things that I've tried to talk about here. You should certainly read all of that. You'll find my email is on those pages, down at the bottom of the information pages, m.cosgrave@ucc.ie. Might be quicker to find me on Twitter, @MikeCosgrave, all one word. And once you've read that material, you're certainly welcome to reach out to me by email or Twitter or whatever other means you wish to do with questions, and we'll either deal with them by email, or indeed we can set up a Skype chat or a conversation like that online to answer the questions that you might have about how your particular history and individual research interests can be blended into and can benefit from participation in our community of knowledge. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you virtually in Cork in the coming semester.